Hey, it's Les from Comfortable Shoes Studio, and how about we pack for a minimalist sketching jaunt today? So it's rainy out. I'm gonna head to the mall and I'm gonna sketch. I am taking two sketchbooks with me, which I know is not minimalist, as a bit of a maximalist thing, but the larger sketchbook is going to serve a function as well as the smaller sketchbook. So the smaller sketchbook is probably where I'm going to make the majority of my art today. I'm going to do some wonky vehicle sketches in this sketchbook, and this sketchbook is specifically for that. That's pretty much all I'm doing in this. There's some old notes in here for work, but I am focusing on just drawing my wonky vehicles as I learn how to do vibes, not realism, with cars and trucks and construction vehicles. Maybe I'll go out and seek some construction vehicles out. So let me tell you what I'm going to do today in terms of sketching. I want to have a couple of colors of ink and a water brush, because I might do this faux ink wash technique that I've been really enjoying lately. And then we'll talk about, like, what if I wanted to do watercolors. I'm not taking watercolors with me today because today is not a watercolor day. So yeah, so I'm doing a minimalist pen and ink, or ink and wash setup, or ink and faux ink wash setup. So I'm going to take this sketchbook and this sketchbook. Now, to make these two sketchbooks work really well together, I am going to bring some clips. So I discovered yesterday, rather accidentally, that I can clip this small sketchbook to the cover of my big sketchbook and get almost like a drawing board. So I have this little magnetic clip. So it's got a heavy duty magnet on one side, and then a pretty good wide open jaw. So what you do is you take this magnet side up and you clip it right there on your sketchbook, or your drawing board, or whatever you're using, and there your sketchbook is clipped directly to the front cover of your other sketchbook. And then I'm going to take another one of these little clips. These are some of my favorite clips. All these clips came from Dollar Tree. This is from the office supply section. This is in the craft supply section. And they just do a really good job at holding everything. It's very sturdy. You could put that on any board and it would be super sturdy. So that's how I hold my sketchbook to my other sketchbook. And then this gives me a platform, if I am going to take watercolors, to take my watercolor setup and connect it to the magnet. Now that gets kind of heavy if I'm holding it in hand, but that's how I've typically used it. But yeah, this is just one of my DIY tins, and that connects to the magnet, no problem. If I were doing watercolors, that's what I would do. No watercolors today. So to contain everything, I have these little neoprene sunglasses cases from Dollar Tree, and of course, because it's black, it's got dog hair on it because my dog sheds like crazy. So this little neoprene case holds a ton of pens, and I have to strongly resist filling it up totally. So I want to draw with a couple of colors. I've been doing this process color adjacent thing, been still digging it, so I'm going to focus on that. So let's see, in this pen, this is a Jinhao 82 pocket size. They have an 82 full size. And this is filled with a earthy yellow ink, Troublemaker. I can't remember what it's called. But I really like this yellow for sketching. So that yellow is going in there. And then I want to take a magenta ink. This is Carcos Hot Pink. It's really just a true magenta. I'm going to do a full review on the Carcos inks. My experience has been mixed. And so this is a TWSBI swipe. I have mixed emotions about that as well. Here's a Jinhao 75 with a Fude nib. So all of my Jinhaos have Fude nibs on them. I shouldn't say all of them, the ones that I'm taking with me. This has my custom blend of a blue-gray ink. I think it's Organics Studio Darwin or Sargasso Sea that I blended with a couple of other things to make it a little less dry. So that's going in there. So I've got my yellow, my magenta, and my blue. And then this is my black ink. This is a Jinhao 92, which has been heavily modified inside the pen to so that I can eyedropper it. So this also has a Fude nib on it, which is a replacement Fude nib. You can buy replacement Fude nibs on AliExpress really cheaply. So I bought a 5-pack and I've just replaced almost all of my Jinhaos with those. So that gives me my 4 colors. Now, I have been experimenting with doing the yellow and the blue with a brown ink. This is a Hongdian deep forest, black forest, some kind. So we're gonna call it the rainbow forest. This is a happy little gay pen. This also has a Fude nib on it. This is not my favorite pen. It is also not eyedroppered. I have to take it apart and epoxy the insides so that I can eyedropper this pen. Yes, I eyedropper metal pens. You can express your concern in the comment section. I have not had a problem with precipitating or issues with the ink reacting with the various metals. So we can talk about that. We can get into it. But so I'm gonna throw that brown ink into here because I've been doing a combination of the blue brown, the yellow brown with black, and it's really delightful. So those are my pen selections for my outing today. I'm going to add to it this Faber-Castell water brush because I want to do faux ink wash. So this is just I think it's a medium. It came with a set of pencils, so I have no idea what size it is. But this actually, I have gotten other versions of this water brush and hated it. Actually threw one away, which I never do. This Faber-Castell version of this water brush is actually fantastic. So I'm going to take that in because it's nice and small and compact. And that's my water kit. But I am adding to this with a sponge. So normally this is what I take when I go out and I do any sort of ink wash or water soluble media. I take a bundle of napkins. You can see where I've used this. I take a bundle of napkins that I put inside a rag. And I put it inside the rag so that it is a little sturdier. So yeah, I just fold the little rag around everything. And then usually what I'll do is I'll have a binder clip or one of these little clips in there to kind of hold everything together. And the napkins act as, as an absorber, and this keeps the brush tips from abrading the napkins. It also dries out pretty quickly this way. The cotton wicks the moisture out of the napkins and works really well. But I wanted to try the sponge, so I think I'm actually going to cut this in half. I got a 4-pack of these so that I can experiment with them. These are just from the grocery store. So the idea behind these is that you take your water brush and oh look, there's actually magenta ink in this. And you just brush it directly into the sponge and it absorbs all of that. I can't remember where I saw this idea on YouTube, but this makes a really compact little sponge setup. And it's a lot smaller than this. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is cutting this so it fits inside there. So yeah, so that is what I am going to take for art supplies. Now, I am definitely fighting the urge to say, well, what about adding some watercolors? And I could theoretically throw the Flippy Floppy kit into my bag at the last minute, which is something I'm really struggling with. I have to admit that this is such an easy kit to throw into my bag that I've been throwing this into my bag every time I leave the house because it's so lightweight, so compact. Even though this is not my favorite setup. I just keep reaching for it, and I'm kind of wondering, yeah, that's not going to hold it. But what I could do with this setup is I could clip it to my sketchbook like that, and that's actually very sturdy. So anyway, options, I have them if I really want to. So I'm going to resist the urge to take this with me, but I'll probably end up throwing it in my bag anyway, because you know me, I might as well have it with me. So yeah, so that's my minimal setup for today. We'll see how I do about not bringing watercolors along with me. And that's going to be my kit. That is going to be my kit. And one of the things that I do want to do in terms of like a super, actually, that's a whole other video. We'll talk about super compact watercolor setups in another video. But yeah, so this is actually like the sponge has gotten a lot softer since I got a little bit wet. So yeah, so that's today's setup for sketching. It's going to be pretty compact. I got, the journal to go with me. I got my Everything Everywhere sketchbook and a couple of little clips here. My pens, that is really compact for me. That's not my usual setup. But I'm going to go to the mall. I'm going to do some sketching in the mall. And then I'm going to definitely do some sketching in my car as it's raining because it's miserable out again. Yeah. So I just want to take a minute and say thank you for being here. Thanks for watching my videos and supporting me. I really appreciate everyone, with the thumbs ups, the support, the subscriptions. It's really, really nice to get all of that support. Also, if you really like these videos, definitely hit the subscribe button, share them with your friends. That's like the best way to get YouTube to notice what I'm doing. And if you really, really, really like it, head over to my Ko-fi page. It's kofi.com, kofi.com/Harper, HARPER. And you can support me with a cup of coffee. And that I use the money from Ko-fi to buy more art supplies to review and use on this channel, buy, more inks to use on the channel. So anyway, I just want to say thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.